Hello, welcome to the Crypto with Kash Cast episode number 15. I'm your host. My name is Duncan Morland, and I am joined by our resident crypto expert, Kashaya Bassi. How are you, Kash?
I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Your setup has slightly changed.
Yeah, I've moved my desk like a meter to the right.
Yeah, you look way more central now. Like you look like you're in exactly the middle of your room, actually.
Yeah, it looks perfectly symmetrical. I just need another box.
Yeah.
They're like cardboard boxes here, and I'm all done.
And of course, yeah, the curtains are closed. We're recording at 4 a.m. again, of course. No natural light for us. No, actually, it's 8 o'clock in the evening. How are you doing, Kash? You all right?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, today the weather was awful. On the day we were recording, literally 2 days ago, it was t-shirt weather.
Yeah.
Today I was wearing my jacket and I was freezing, like genuinely freezing.
I wore a t-shirt to the beach today, a little walk. So yeah, you want to get down to Devon,
Yeah.
where the sun is always shining, except when it's not, which is most of the time. We've got 3 topics to discuss today.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a $600 million exploit or hack. We've got OpenSea, which is an NFT marketplace moving to or becoming available on the Solana network, which you can tell us about that. And a potential new crypto bull market. We can talk about that too, because prices are looking way healthier than they were this time last week or in the last few months. So what would you like to start with, Kash?
Let's go for the exploit.
Okay, so $600 million lost sounds like a lot. What is this? Who got hacked and what happened?
So as far as I can tell, the blockchain that was hacked, essentially, it's not the blockchain itself. The hackers or the hacker was able to access the private keys of a wallet, which essentially held all of these assets.
One wallet, or
so it was basically a multi-sig of 9 wallets, as far as I can tell. Right, they were able to access the private keys for 5, which gave them control of over half, which essentially allowed them to have access to all the funds.
Yeah.
And essentially they drained the pool, took out all the money and just put them in a private wallet that they created themselves.
Okay, so whose funds are these? Like, and what network is this?
It was basically the Ronin bridge, which is essentially a blockchain which, Axie Infinity, one of the most popular NFT games, is built on top of. It's essentially a bridge that connects Axie Infinity to multiple other blockchains, such as Ethereum. Yeah. So something like 170,000 Ethereum tokens were stolen, as well as $25 million in stable coins.
Right. And this money is sat there to act as like liquid for when people want to swap back to Ethereum and from the Axie.
So red flags started going off when someone tried to exchange their tokens and realized, oh, there isn't enough Ethereum. So what the most interesting part about this exploit is that it actually happened on the 23rd of March, 6 days before they realized.
Right, so a week ago, yeah.
Yeah, so around a week ago.
So what, had nobody tried? Did they leave some Ethereum
some was left, yes.
Right, okay.
So small transactions were able to go through. But when it came to this, I think it was 5,000 Ethereum transaction. It wasn't going through.
So do you have any idea who the hacker is and how they were able to compromise 5 of these passwords? Or
the private keys? It's difficult to tell. I think there's a lot of social engineering exploits happening in crypto right now. One of the CEOs of Definance Capital, for example, one of his wallets were hacked. He lost over $1 million or a couple $1 million and a bunch of his NFTs.
Yeah, you posted that in the group chat, and I think you said that he didn't have a hardware wallet. He had like these millions of dollars in a software wallet. But
yeah. I mean, he obviously has multiple wallets, but this one in particular that was affected was a software wallet he was just using to buy and trade NFTs. Essentially, what they found was the attack was done through social engineering. So someone who uses a name that you probably know and have interacted with before, they send you an email, they tell you to click on a certain link, and once you do, your computer becomes compromised. there is no indication that you've been compromised. It just lays dormant until you start loading up your wallets with crypto, and then as soon as it gets to a certain point, the hacker's like, okay, let's drain this. So
but I guess a multi, because I was thinking with one seed phrase, if you've got one hardware wallet, it's kind of you do have that centralized point of failure.
Yeah.
If you lose that seed phrase with a multi-sig wallet, the idea I thought was to sort of distribute that a bit.
Exactly, and they've done that, but the hacker in this case was so sophisticated that they managed to get 5 of the 9 private keys.
Yeah, I wonder if they individually kind of got those keys off people individually, or whether they just got onto one computer,
like a central sort of database. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I feel like as time goes by, more will get revealed. But it's crazy because this random person is now $600 million richer.
Yeah.
But the question is, what can they do with the money? If they send it to an exchange to cash out, then the wallet's already been marked. So exchanges are always going to get notified when the funds are going to get sent to them. They could potentially use decentralized exchanges, but again, how can you cash out?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because like there's a decentralized exchange called BISQ, BISQ, and you can use it anonymously, but the volumes of trading on there is extremely low compared to, so like you would, I don't know. So I guess, is it just sat in that one account at the moment that they've moved?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. And what's interesting is that a lot of people, because it's all public, it's a public ledger, you can go in the wallet and people are sending them funds, the hacker funds, and saying, and sending messages at the same time, on-chain messages through Ethereum, saying, donate to this, or hey, I've been in crypto, can you donate this much money? I'm just thinking, why would you do that? Because if the hacker actually does decide to send you money, then you're screwed.
Yeah, because
now you're handling stolen stolen money,
So whose money was this? Is this money like of the Ronin bridge protocol? Is it people's money that they'd invested?
Both Ronin and Axie Infinity. What's likely going to happen is that they're going to, go to their stakeholders and, get that money back. But previously, there was another $600 million hack. What happened was the hacker actually returned the funds in return for like a bounty.
Right. Okay.
For a bounty reward. It really depends on the project. Some give you like 250,000 for returning 600 million.
Not quite 600 million, yeah.
Exactly. Others give you a certain percentage. We're just going to have to wait and see. There's not much you can do with $600 million. It's very difficult to launder that money.
And has this affected Axie Infinity, the game, and does Ronin Bridge have its own sort of crypto? Are any of those things?
Last I checked, Axie Infinity was only down a couple percentages, which is actually quite bullish for the market, because if we were in maybe if this happened a couple months ago, then it would have affected all of crypto negatively, because they're like, okay, there's $600 million worth of Ethereum on the market. The hackers going to want to trade it into a stable coin. That's going to be a lot of selling pressure coming into the market. Let's sell off before that happens. But it seems like the market's kind of taking it on the chin at the moment, and it's a lot of these coins are still up on the day, which is quite positive.
Yeah, the whole market's looking good, but we can talk about that in a second. So, okay, yeah. So another multi-million-dollar hack under the crypto space's belt.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be more to talk about in the future. Okay, so the next topic we had today was the OpenSea NFT marketplace moving to Solana, or becoming available on Solana. Can you tell us what's happening there?
Yeah, so OpenSea is the largest NFT marketplace in the world by far. I think they have something like 97% market share over the NFT marketplace space. They're absolutely killing it. At the moment, they only support a select number of blockchains. So as far as I can tell, it's Ethereum, Polygon, and another one, which is not as popular as these other ones. But they've recently announced on Twitter that they're going to be integrating Solana into their systems, which is huge because now, Solana offers much faster and cheaper transactions than Ethereum. There's some great NFTs on Solana at the moment, but they're all on multiple different marketplaces. So they're on like Solana, they're on Magic Eden, Metaplex is another one. So it's all dispersed, whereas if it comes on OpenSea, which is already the number one platform for NFTs, I think that's going to bring a lot more interest to Solana NFTs, which will perhaps reflect positively on the price of
Solana, yeah, which has already gone up a lot.
Exactly, yeah, certainly.
I've got a question. If you buy an NFT on the Ethereum network or on the Solana network, can you move it to a different blockchain, or is it tied to the specific blockchain network?
That's a good question. There are some people developing bridges where you can move, your NFT from Ethereum to Solana, for example, or vice versa. But I don't think that's, there's not a real platform where you can do that. It's in development, and it's something that's potentially going to come out later. So but it is possible, I think.
Right, okay, but in NFT marketplaces already exist on Solana, so you have people buying and selling NFT. This is just potentially going to explode that market and make it much bigger, I guess.
Yeah.
And why is OpenSea sort of top? Is it just it was the first to sort of build a huge marketplace and it's got that brand awareness, or does it do it better than other sort of options? Or
I would say their user interface is definitely better than some other platforms out there. The artists they've actually partnered with are probably much higher quality and much more revered than the other platforms out there. It's decentralized in the sense that you can add your own collection.
Right, okay.
It's just been out for a number of years. It's been here before the hype, so it's not like a project that's just come out now trying to capitalize on it. And yeah, they've been doing very well.
That's cool. And also one more in terms of wallets, a lot of wallets integrate NFTs into visually display the NFTs you own now, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And so what's that most popular Solana wallet? Is it Phantom?
Phantom, I would say, yeah.
So does that already have NFT sort of capabilities? Or?
Yes. So as far as I can tell, what's going to happen is once Solana is added onto OpenSea, you'd be able to connect your wallet to OpenSea and just download the different NFTs and trade with other people, just as you would with any other sort of platform that already exists.
Okay, cool. And have you got your eye on any NFTs, any artists you like?
Not any in particular. There's this NFT game that I've been following for a while. It's called Parallel.
Okay.
It's essentially like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon.
Yeah.
In NFT.
Battling monsters, kind of.
Essentially, and what's really exciting about it is that you can use your phone to actually view the creatures in AR. So you can have them in a room, for example. And
Nintendo did that with the Pokemon. So for people that don't know, it's like looking through your phone camera at the room, but you see the monster as if it's in the room, just hanging out with you or whatever.
Exactly. So yeah, it's really interesting. That's a project I've been following for a while. I think they recently raised something like $50 million and are already valued at $400 million. They raised funds from some of the biggest VC firms in the space. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, and I guess you can sort of say what's the value in that or the point in that? But then you just have to look at Pokemon, Pokemon cards or any kind of trading card thing, or people love
Lord of the Rings, Star Wars.
Like collectibles and and I guess there's that game functionality as well. If these things have stats and you can play them against each other and stuff like that. And, I've got to ask, can you view this in your VR headset?
They are adding that as well.
Okay.
They are adding
Is this why you're interested? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good question. They are adding that. Yeah. So imagine you can actually teleport yourself into the world of Pokemon, and you'll be able to throw a Pokeball and capture a Pokemon and whatnot. But
soon they kind of did that with one of the more recent like mobile Pokemon games, like where you'd have to walk around the city or wherever, and you have to physically go to the location and point your phone at something to catch.
Yeah, Pokemon Go, I think it was called, right?
Yeah, I think
it came out a few years ago, and everyone was playing it.
Yeah. So this game's called Parallel, is it? And and what are the creatures?
There are different teams that you can join, and then you can battle it with each other. You know, there's different powers that you have. There's different magic tricks that you can do.
So are you playing it, or are you just?
I haven't played it. No, at the moment I'm just collecting the different cards.
That's cool. Maybe I'll talk more about that in the future, and we'll see how it's growing and whether you've got a rare shiny yet. Okay, that's cool. So that's NFTs covered for today, I think. And the last topic I've got on our triple crypto list of things to talk about is the new bull market, and maybe a question mark after that. So prices right now, Bitcoin is trading at about nearly $47,000. Ethereum is about $3,300 odd. Which is way higher than they've been in the last few weeks. So what are your sort of thoughts on what's happening in the market? And do you think this is positivity here to stay, or what are your feelings?
Yeah, so essentially we've been in a almost, industry-wide downtrend since November, where Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and many of these other cryptos formed the local top. Since then it's been trending downwards, and now for the past few months has been trading just above support level. For Bitcoin, we knew there was strong support at 30,000, which is what marked the bottom of last year's crash in May. This year fell back down to around 33,000 and bounced back up, and then it fell down to 34,000 again. And now it's broken out of that downtrend and it's heading upwards. We've had around, I think, 8 or 9 days of straight green days for Bitcoin, which is huge. There's some positive developments.
I saw some people saying that string of green days like that, it hasn't, or if it went a couple more days, Bitcoin wouldn't have seen that much green since 2012, in consecutive days. I don't know how accurate that is, but yeah.
Yeah, it's been doing very well recently, and there's some positive developments coming out of the Russia-Ukraine crisis. Terra Luna has also been buying, I think, something like $125 million worth.
Yeah, I saw that
per day.
Yeah. So this is for Terra Luna's a blockchain network, and this is for their reserves, is it? Buying loads of Bitcoin?
Yeah, for the stable coin UST. So I think they're going to be buying up. So I think they've already bought $1 billion. They plan to buy up to $3 billion in the near future, and in the long term, they're hoping to build up to $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. As part of their reserves.
Is this where's that money coming from? Is this
good question?
Investor money, or
I think they recently raised $1 billion. So some of that money is being used, but there's a lot of speculation about where that money is actually coming from. It's difficult to say exactly at this point, but the market seems to be reacting positively to the news nonetheless.
Yeah, because there's a I can't remember what it's called, but it's called the Terra Foundation or something like that. I know some of the money for the network came from that before, and it's got I can't remember the sort of CEO of Terra, and they're all involved in it. But to me, it just seemed like a kind of they're probably getting investment, outside investment from somewhere, whether it's venture capitalists or banks or whatever. They're getting. I guess a lot of people want to put money into the crypto space.
Exactly. Yeah, Luna's been doing very well recently. There's actually a couple bets going around. This one person on Twitter actually bet $10 million against with the CEO of Luna, saying that if in 1 year time, if the price of Luna is down from what it is today, then they exchange $10 million. There's another one going for $1 million. I think the same person, his name is GCR, he even offered $20 million to say, okay, for the same bets, but I don't think Duke won. agree to it. It's very interesting to see. I think what he's trying to do is, trigger a new bull market essentially by doing this, because they're going to be buying something like $100 million every day for the next few months.
So they're not doing it all in one go as well. So maybe we should start placing bets. We should have done it with the Crypto with Kash portfolio last year.
Yeah,
bet that you beat Bitcoin, and you have. So
yeah, we did quite well. I'm happy, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, generally, like, it's looking. I would guess it's going to go up in legs if it's going to go up, because people are going to be trying to, what's the word, sort of claw back losses. You know what I mean? Like, people bought in at 50, 55, 60. I mean, right now it's at 47, like I say, so it's not. But yeah, do you think? I mean, I guess you're about not making outlandish predictions, but yeah, I guess what's your sort of gut feeling? I mean,
personally speaking, I'd rather it, have a pullback and go up slowly and sustainably, as opposed to like a high, a straight line up, which is unsustainable, which sells off just as fast as it went up. Slow and steady wins the race, and that applies to crypto as well, certainly with Bitcoin. As we've seen many times in the past, if it goes up in a straight line, then it's coming straight back down.
I guess a lot of people that got in last year, this is their, in the later half of last year, this down market is their first experience of it. So all those people are going to be quite tentative of, you'd hope, jumping back in again.
Yeah.
If they got out. So maybe it will be slower. But also, the thing that's my social media has been full of is GameStop going back up. So that seems to be where the kind of gambling energy is right now. It's like the GameStop. It might have gone back down today. I haven't checked, but yeah, like over the last few days, there's a lot of people.
It'd be interesting to see the correlation between GameStop, Dogecoin, and crypto as a whole.
Yeah, just people just moving from one to the other. But yeah, there's a lot of people doing like crazy options trades on that again over the last few days, and like kind of making everyone feel very poor. So yeah, looking positive, but we'll take it slowly and see how it goes.
Yeah, we have support at 41,600. So if it was to fall back down there, I'd like it to hold at 41,600. Consolidate there for a few days before you can continue the leg higher.
Yeah, and I think it is positive that it never went. Well, Bitcoin never went back to 30, like you said. The bottom so far that it's seen is 33. This sort of down market.
Yeah.
So there is that kind of ladder effect, I guess, where it has come down, but it didn't go down quite as far as the downtrend last year, and then which might hopefully mean when it goes back up, it goes up higher, and you just see that kind of zoomed out over the long term, kind of going up.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's it for our topics today. Thank you for talking to me and the lovely audience, Kash.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have a wisdom-filled message you want to leave everyone with, or just any kind of message? Go and get hooked on Parallel, the game. Yeah.
I think it's definitely worth looking into NFTs. You don't have to go for the expensive ones, the 200, 300K ones. There are NFTs. I bought one for like $1.50 the other day. It's just a card of, it can be anything. Just try to buy something that you actually like, and that way, if it goes to zero, you're not upset. You still have something that you like,
Yeah, and I guess it's sort of like half of this. It's not all about making money from cryptocurrency. Half of it is like experimenting with a new technology.
Exactly that.
Yeah. So buy one of these expensive JPEGs for yourself and see if it is more than that, I guess, like see if it feels like more than that, see what other people are doing. I'm going to look up that game you said.
Parallel.
I think that's interesting. So for anyone that's listening, thank you for listening. And if you have any topics you'd like us to cover, just leave a comment below the video on YouTube or drop us an email and we'll talk about whatever you want. If you enjoyed the episode, we'd appreciate if you like on YouTube. I think generally you can do that, and then subscribe for more. Yeah, that's it. Like, comment, and subscribe. You said it much more succinctly than me. Thank you again for your cash time. Thank you again for your time, Kash. And
thanks for having me, Duncan. It's been great.
Yeah, cheers. And we'll speak again next week.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.